Welcome back. So, Bachelor in Paradise, we are finished for the season. So,
Woo!
I know. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to Batch Bros Live. This is the finale recap of Bachelor in Paradise. And as always, I am the Han Factor, and I am joined by a very, very special person today. A specifically special person.
Wow.
Josh, why is such a special day today?
I don't know. You tell me.
Because it's your birthday. Happy birthday!
Yay! Turn up, bitches.
But yeah, happy birthday. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing all right. It's a Thursday, so I had to work, which, not the most fun thing in the world.
Okay.
But I had lunch with my mom, and then I had to pick things up from my parents' house after work, so I stopped by and saw my dad, chatted with him for a little bit. So having some good quality family time.
Mm-hmm. And now you're here to talk about The Bachelor in Paradise.
Now I'm here with you. It's a dream come true.
The day took a turn for the worst. But I'm glad you're here. So
thank you.
And I'm glad everybody else is here too. But I just wanted to make sure I was saving it for this moment. But
aw,
yeah,
too kind.
That's the last time that you'll hear me saving it for anybody. So, but yeah. Anyway, what'd you think of the finale, Josh?
I guess I have to say I am a little underwhelmed.
Oh, I was too.
I
Don't worry.
felt like this episode ended very predictably, and yeah, I was hoping for the drama. So your tweet was 100% right, and mine was wrong.
What was my tweet?
Back we talked about it last episode, I believe, where you're like, "Oh, I bet that Noah and Abigail break up," and I had responded, "I think there will be more than one shocking breakup."
Oh,
And,
okay. No.
Spoilers, guys.
Yeah, I mean, there was one breakup that I didn't necessarily anticipate, but it obviously didn't last very long. And to be fair, the breakup that we witnessed on TV also, the one you just mentioned, also didn't last very long, is my understanding. But
yeah, I had just heard that, and if we want to get into the gossip realm, I have more to talk about with that.
Oh, I think we'll have plenty of time because, I really didn't feel like super, exuberant about what I witnessed on TV. I think that I'm more excited about what's coming up with the Bachelor world, like Michelle's season of The Bachelorette.
Oh, absolutely.
And I have a few ideas of things that we can do in the meantime, but anyway.
Before we jump
go ahead.
into what's actually happening, we've got our last almost paradise cast introduction, everything going through, and we see everybody, and then at the end we get Wells, and they just did this
passing the drink to himself
bit at the end, yeah, where he just gets the beer, slides it down the bar, and there he is again to catch it.
It was an interesting choice.
It just had me. It had me. I appreciated it.
Oh, you liked it?
Oh yeah. I was dying.
I could have take it or leave it,
It was so cheesy. It was beautiful.
Yeah, I guess that's fine. I mean, honestly, that was like the kind of the highlight of the episode, right? Right there. I can't say that I was particularly surprised or about anything, but yeah. So let's talk about it. We get an immediate flashback back to the end of prom where we saw the beginning last week of Noah and Abigail's demise, and we kind of get the resolution of that.
Yep, Abigail comes out of the bathroom.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really write down a whole lot. I don't think that the actual breakup we witnessed this episode really, it just kind of got trickled over. I don't think we saw anything of substance that changed anything I thought about what had already happened. It's like we had already seen the conclusion, I thought, you know? So
Yeah, I agree.
I'm having
I just
difficulty.
wrote down like not really too much more to add. Like
Mhm.
just okay, you know, we've gotten the point already. There's nothing game changing that's happening here. It's just
Yeah.
rehashing the same stuff again.
Well, you know, so Noah keeps saying, "Hey, you're not the one for me. So sorry."
Not
And
my person.
yeah, I mean, I think that this was largely a miscommunication because I do feel like a lot of the issues and hangups he had was about the fact that he like expressed feelings like, "Hey, I'm starting to fall in love with you," and it was largely met with like, "Oh, huh, yeah, great." So, but
Yeah,
you know, and
and
it
she
probably didn't.
mentions that she was planning on getting back to him, like here at prom, to be like, yeah, I'm falling in love with you too, but you
Yeah,
know,
a little too little, too late is what it seemed like at that
yeah,
point.
waited a bit too long there. I feel like you needed a little bit more urgency once you
Yeah. What?
realized what had just happened.
Yeah. Well, like once you realize that this is like a breakup, it'd be like, whoa, 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 whoa. I need to tell you something first, you know. So, but I don't know. That's a hard position to be in, I guess. But
Yeah, and like at that point, it becomes okay. How genuine is this versus just trying to like salvage the relationship?
yeah. But you know, one.
So
Go ahead.
Noah goes and just pieces out without really stopping by. It's just like, okay, yeah, you know, I've made this decision, so I'm off. Best of luck to you.
Mm-hmm. The Irish goodbye.
Yep. And then, you know, we see Abigail come down and somebody asks, "Where's Noah?"
Yeah, I know.
She comes in to say goodbye to everybody. Just like, ooh, the daggers.
Yeah, I. So you know, Noah leaves and Abigail leaves. I like the game of telephone that occurred where, like, I think it was Mari who was like, uh, Noah told her that he was never really in love with her, and like,
Yeah,
you
got
know,
on a hand.
like it didn't exactly get communicated to the rest of the group. I feel like what really had happened, what we saw, seemed different than at least what their impression of the conversation was. So I was like, well, that wasn't necessarily true, but yeah,
Yeah, it was weird that Noah like
yeah,
didn't talk to anybody, but also, I mean, people started like complaining about the way he handled the entire situation,
yeah,
and part of me is just like, okay, well, what could he have actually done better here? Like, there's no great way to break up with somebody, right?
no, I mean, I thought it was fine. I didn't really think much of it. I just maybe he could have said bye to some of the people that he's supposedly friends with, but it it's whatever. But yeah, and that was kind of the end of it. The one thing that she says that I find interesting, Josh, is that at one point she goes, you know, I thought we were gonna leave here together, and it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
like I thought we were gonna be engaged or so. I don't know. I don't think there's a world where they leave engaged after the show anyway. So I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
this was the
it didn't feel like they were there.
no.
Maybe they have a really good like fantasy suite conversation and like that put stuff in place, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I could see them leaving together, but not engaged with where they were in comparison to these other couples that feel so strong. Right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I mean, it not even close. But yeah, can we fast forward to essentially the next part where you know we get ready to have a cocktail party, and of course it gets canceled, and we go pretty much straight into a rose ceremony after
Well,
this.
hold on here, because I think we're skipping one little thing too.
What on earth could have been
I
that important?
so I honestly did not notice this last week, but this week, as everybody was like, they were showing everybody's reactions, Abigail saying goodbye and everything. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
who the fuck's Natasha?
Oh, she was
And
sick.
yeah, it turns out like she couldn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That just it feels bad because it's like okay, here Natasha is again getting screwed over
Short end
by
of the
the
stick.
universe. Yeah. Like,
The
I feel bad
universe
for
is
my
not.
girl.
Yeah, the universe is not on your side. This was not meant to be for her.
Natasha, if you're still available, hit me up. I'll do my best to not be a piece of shit. Or, like, I'll do my best to treat you right. How about
Well,
that?
you know, don't talk down and demean her,
Different
and I
bar
think
to
you'll
set.
probably be fine, right?
Yeah.
Like what we witnessed on the television was like not a very healthy conversation at any point in time. But yeah, um, anyway, we go into a cocktail party that inevitably gets canceled, and we go straight into a rose ceremony. And
And looking at James' face there, too, I'm just like, oh, he looks so relieved.
yeah, I don't know what I there were a lot of people left where this rapidly became the Joe and Serena, the Kenny and Mari, and the Riley and Marissa show. Like there really wasn't a whole lot left to kind of
Yeah.
surmise. So I felt like the rose ceremony was more or less just a formality at this point. But yeah, so Joe gets to go first, and he inevitably gives his rose to Serena. Not a surprise. They've been together this entire time. I'm pretty confident. So at this point, are you confident that they're going to end up engaged?
Yes.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
what I did here was I gave them a rating, but I also gave them like a final status too,
Yep.
for how the couple would end.
Mm-hmm.
So for Joe and Serena, I gave them a 9.5,
Mm-hmm.
and I put down engaged for their status.
Yep, and I agree with that completely. I had nothing else to kind of add to that.
You also had 9.5.
Yeah,
Did you do ratings?
Yes, I have ratings in mind for everybody on here. So,
Okay.
but
I just want to write it down, so say it officially.
got it. So yeah, 9.5, both engaged. I agree. Riley goes next, and he inevitably gives his rose to Marissa. So also a 9.5. I don't think they're any less.
Same here.
I don't think they're any less of
A serious couple.
than Joe and Serena at this point. So yeah, and I also wrote down engaged here.
Same across the board, 9.5 engaged.
Yeah, and Kenny and Mari were next. Once again, I gave them a 9.25, but I also wrote down engaged.
Saucy.
Right? So I
gave
though
them
like
a full 9.5.
Yeah.
And then also engaged.
I really didn't feel like they were that far off, if at all, from Riley, Marissa, and Joe and Serena. So I felt comfortable saying, okay, well, maybe there's just a slight less chance that they end this happily compared to them. But I really didn't think that was going to be the case.
That
So-
9.375.
No,
combined score.
9. Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, so negligible difference. And then Thomas and Becca are up next, and I give them an 8. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if
also gave them an 8.
oh really? Okay, I thought you were saying
Yeah,
that I
like-
overshot it.
No, I was just amazed that we're so on the same page here.
Mhm.
I guess you probably were higher on than me, but yeah, I finally just like felt a little more comfortable with them. It seemed like maybe the infatuation was a little childish, but it seemed a lot more genuine.
Mhm.
So I was like, okay, I think they actually really like each other, and they're gonna try to make it happen.
Well, I was like,
Definitely not far enough along to get engaged, but they'll leave together. They'll
yeah, I was like, oh,
work it out.
they seem, and I wrote down, I was like, I think they'll stay together at this point. So they seem pretty lovey-dovey right now with each other. So
Mhm.
why not? And then there's everybody else. So we get James, who decides to give his rose to Anna. I think at this point he I don't know that there's another person to give a rose to for him. And
Yeah, since Aaron kind of put a move on Tia.
yeah, weird, right? Like that's kind of complicated to begin with, but like 4 out of 10 at best.
Okay. I started at 4, and as I was thinking about it, I'm like, no, I can't go that high. I don't actually have any confidence here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it down to 2.5.
I just felt bad. I mean, that's probably more accurate of where I was at. I was just like, oh, I can't put him at like a 1, right? Like that seems rude. So
Like they could have potentially worked out maybe if they had time.
mhm.
Maybe just rationalizing there.
That makes one of us that thought that. But yeah, and then like who was next? Let's see. Aaron goes next.
Yep.
And Aaron gives his rose to
James
Tia.
Sloppy seconds.
Yeah. Kind of a weird situation to be in, right?
I was like, well, it might work out because James and Aaron will probably pull Tia into a threesome.
That's weird. Is that what you were thinking? She probably wouldn't enjoy it. I mean, how do you...
Oh, yeah, because
like,
she'd be playing second fiddle.
I know,
to
that's what I'm
everyone,
saying.
and
It's
Tia
like,
doesn't seem like that kind of girl.
like, there's no way that she comes out ahead in that relationship between the two of them. But
What
yeah,
score did you get?
I think a 3.
A 3?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, actually, I also started with them at a 3, and then I went down to 2.5 because I'm like, it just sucks.
I think they're less likely to be a successful couple than James and Anna.
Oh, yeah,
And I think you rated them
I
at the
agree,
same.
but just like either way, it's so bad.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I might have gone down to a 2. I think I went from 2 up to 2.5.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, starting your relationship by just making out, as the other one kind of got dumped, probably not the most sustainable for long-term success, right?
Oh no, I
Um,
thought,
I
and
heard
like I
that
said, everything.
Tia got cut off at prom too. It looked like Aaron was pretty drunk.
Oh really?
Yeah. So
They
yeah,
got cut
it's
off.
not. Which I imagine like you have to be drinking quite a bit before the producers are ready to cut you off.
Mhm.
Because they want to see you make that juicy content.
Well, it's got to be an
Our
awkward
last
situation.
rose was Ed to Mckenna.
Yeah, and I think that's a 1. Like
A 1? Okay. I actually put them at a 3 because I thought maybe McKenna would just be so endeared by Ed coming and giving her a date that she'd be willing to try to like work something out.
I think McKenna was 0% interested in Ed at any point in time.
That became very apparent.
Yeah.
So yeah, I actually I went with a wild card on them and said that they'd leave together, but
Oh God, what the hell? No, I think there were 7 couples by the end of this, and 3 of them were for sure getting engaged. It seemed like, and one of them was up in the air. Well, but pretty certain that they were gonna at least stick together. And then everybody else, I was like, "There's no hope."
doo-doo fire.
Yeah, there's no hope. But yeah, so I mean, that we say goodbye to a few people. We said goodbye to Abigail and Noah at the beginning of the episode, and then Natasha and Chelsea as well. I felt really bad watching Natasha's exit outro.
I mean, yeah, she had to have a pretty miserable time here
That was
through all this.
fucking sad to watch. I mean, she said essentially like, I can't want this anymore. Like, I can't want love anymore because it's too painful, and it gets harder as she gets older. I mean, she's not old, but like that stung. Didn't you think?
Yeah,
Or
it hurt. I'm sure mostly just like the freshness, and frustration of it
Mhm.
all, because she just kept getting bad break after bad break after bad break,
Mhm.
and she didn't do anything to anybody.
No, I don't.
Tasha.
That was just, like I said, it was just hard to sit there and watch that. But yeah, I mean, not really any surprises here. So I think it was just
Yeah,
an easy way for Aaron to break up with Chelsea than anything else. So he's like, well, I could just give my rose to Tia and call it a day. So, but
right.
But yeah.
Easy excuse.
So we get to the next pivotal moment of the episode where we introduce a previous couple on Paradise's beaches. Dean and Kaylin come back, you know, and they are there to tell the residents of the beach that Paradise is over. It's the end. You either found love or you didn't, and you got to decide what you're going to do next.
Put up or shut up.
Put up or shut up. And those that decide to stay will have fantasy suites, and those that don't will go home. So, and that's pretty much it. You know, plain and simple. Wipe your hands with it. We'll see what happens. But at one at a time, each of the couples break off to go talk, and we get to start with Kenny and Mari. I mean, they're in it to win it, right? At this point. Nothing changed by listening to their conversation. Yeah, so I was like, okay, they're staying together, nothing to worry about, and of course they do. And I don't really have much else to even add to it. You know, they were gonna stay on the beach and they were gonna probably get engaged. So
yeah, so Kenny, they have a discussion, and Kenny kind of brings up that he's worried that maybe Mari isn't ready for like that settled down life and just wants to live a wild, crazy, young, single life where she can go out.
It's the age gap thing, I think.
Be reckless. Yeah. And Kenny knows that he wants to settle down because he's 40. Doesn't do it now. I mean, yeah, you can meet somebody later in life, but like possibility of kids definitely out the door. And
yeah, I wouldn't say that, but I think that he seems more worried about taking away experiences, her life experiences that he has already had. You know, that's what it seems like more to me.
Yeah, but Mari reassures him and says that she's always wanted to get married young.
Yeah.
So that kind of settles that.
Yeah. Right? Oh, I mean, done deal. You know, next. Let's get to the juicy one.
Like, okay, perfect.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think I took the most notes on this one out of all of our.
I mean, Thomas and Becca are up next, and what did I watch is the question here. It's just like Thomas is sitting there like, hey, you know, this is gonna work, and Becca's like, this is not gonna work. And the crying was a little weird. You know,
I agree.
I couldn't tell how, because it was kind of like I don't know. I don't want to say it seemed rehearsed, but it kind of seemed rehearsed.
It felt kind of fake.
Okay, I'm glad. Maybe I wasn't the only one that thought that then. So, but yeah,
I felt like Thomas was turning it on, and it was like a child trying to pretend to cry, honestly.
That's
but maybe emotionally that's where he was. He just, you know, hasn't allowed himself to be vulnerable like that to cry, and he didn't know how to handle the emotion.
You know, like the meme where the guy goes, wah! You know what I mean? The very moany cry that breaks out into tears. I don't know. It just, I see your perspective of like maybe he didn't know how to process it, but I don't know. It just it didn't seem real. It didn't.
Yeah, it was weird. I didn't like it. I don't know. I got to the point where I could believe his emotions, but his actions were not believable to me.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Becca doesn't seem that really broken up by the breakup to me, watching it happen too.
Yeah, no, she seemed pretty like, okay, well, sorry, like, just not there.
Yeah, and he kept
Move on.
he kept pushing for the what if, like what if we did work out, what if we did fall in love, what if we could spend the rest of our lives together, and once
No regrets.
yeah, no regrets. She didn't seem interested in that.
Yeah, and well, so also at one point, Thomas was just like, well, clearly, like, this is the decision you've made.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really gonna fight you on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna trust you. But then, like, yeah, he's breaking down and all that.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure if he was like being healthy in saying that, or if he was trying to be manipulative and be like, oh well, look at how manly I am, like not chasing after you.
It didn't seem manipulative to me. It was just kind of a weird breakup. I really don't know what to make of it other than just say it was kind of strange. So, I mean, what other thoughts do you have on that breakup, Josh?
Just that I was surprised because I thought, if anything, Becca was more into Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
At least from the start of the relationship. So
it was kind of like this is fun, see you never.
Especially the way it played out. Yeah, I was confused. It took me off guard, and on Reddit I've been seeing things for a while about people being very excited about the Thomas Becca relationship. So I'm like, okay, they for sure have to leave here, right?
Yeah. Well, evidently not.
Yeah, apparently not. Egg on my face.
This is who I would leave with right here. This beautiful cat. Oh, he's not having a good time. Anyway, yeah. So I'm good to move on to the next one, which was
I think we'll fly through the last two
which was a class, which was like a master class in desperation. Ed and Mckenna. So.
Oh man, yep.
I mean, Ed's all in. I'll give him that much. Ed is like, we can make this work, and Mckenna was just like, we cannot. So,
I'm good. Thank you.
And he was like, but no, we can really make this work. And she's like, no, no, we cannot.
But we can't.
Yeah, there was a very large disconnect there. I think Ed just was really hopeful that this would work out for him, and Mckenna was just not having any of it. At any point in time, did she seem interested?
Yeah, so, I was thinking, just with the knight in shining armor stuff, and Ed probably was too, that like, that meant enough to Mckenna where she'd give it a shot, or at least, say, hey, let's do fantasy suites, and then be on our way.
Well, obviously that didn't happen either.
If you wanted to try that, you could also just, wait until after the show and then not have that on camera.
Yeah, I know. Well, everything up and to the point, right? But
yeah. So, all in all, though, Ed takes it pretty well. Just like, oh shit, guys, I got dumped.
Yeah, boys, I got dumped. I thought the boys I got dumped was a good way to end it. So
yeah, Ed seems like a nice enough, cool enough dude.
Yeah.
I hope things work out for him.
Well, next up on the chopping block was Anna and James, and this was kind of, I don't know, maybe she just doesn't handle breakups well or something like that, but Anna hits James with the I like you, and James hits you with the no. So yeah, I mean it was just another one-sided relationship.
Yeah, we just had the role reversal coming in from the last one, and Anna's probably not used to this being like an attractive woman with a lot of clout and everything. So I'm sure this was difficult. She said that she'd been working on herself and like going to therapy. Probably hadn't gotten to this point yet because it's not that common of an occurrence for her. So, she's got some new material to talk with her therapist about when she gets back home.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I felt bad for Anna. I mean, I don't really have any, like, I didn't watch her season, or when she was on Matt's season of The Bachelor. I understand she was kind of the mean girl, said some things that weren't really true, and so that kind of sucks, but at least
she
they
seems
showed,
like she's made some personal growth.
Yeah, what they showed. I mean,
like,
she seemed like a pretty normal person on the show.
Happy for her for
that. The
yeah.
limited 2 episodes that we got of Anna. So.
And I was like, ultimately with this breakup, Anna handled it with grace compared to Demi. So.
Oh, I mean, come on. But yeah, James runs back to the palapa. I never thought I'd use the word palapa, but damn it, I like it. And he goes, he essentially is like, Aaron, are you ready to leave? Like, I broke up with my girlfriend. Go break up with yours so we can go home. And
right.
So we get a great scene where Aaron runs over and gives Tia all of 5 seconds, and he's like, listen, you're great when you're in San Diego. Here's my number. I'll talk to you then. I gotta go home with James. So.
And yeah,
Demi's it was
just
perfect.
Tia's just like a fucking course you are.
Yeah.
And honestly, surprised to nobody. I called it out earlier in the episode, just being like, we all know they want to go home together. This rose ceremony is a formality.
Oh yeah. I mean, did you not find that I don't think Tia was like really upset. I think this was kind of expected, but she did give some great lines where she was like, fuck men, fuck the show, fuck this beach. Like, it's like, I'm never coming back here again. It's essentially...
Yeah, she had a decently tough run of it for her like time on the show. I think it was about half of the 8 weeks we got.
I mean, we see these people on the show repeatedly now. Maybe this is kind of your first experience with Bachelor in Paradise, but we see Tajwan, we see the Tias who have been to the beach a couple times, who just repeatedly things just work out poorly. So it feels bad, and it's like you got the Joes of the world who things continuously work out well every time he comes there. So
apparently,
yeah. But anyway, so
yeah, Aaron rides James off into the sunset.
Yep, precisely. James and Aaron ride off into the sunset, and that's it. We're down to essentially 2 more couples left after everybody's broken
James
up.
And Aaron a 10.
Oh, I think there's no doubt there. If James and Aaron aren't a 10, I don't know what is, right? Like, I wouldn't believe in true love if that was the case. But
they're our standard.
We've got 2 last ones. Next up we get Riley and Marissa, and Riley does a very good job convincing nobody but Marissa that that is going to be a breakup conversation. And they stick it out, I mean, what did you think of that? Did you think that was funny? Obviously, Marissa didn't really, but...
I mean, it's the kind of thing I would do, probably.
Oh, I thought it was good. Yeah.
At the same time, I didn't buy it. I'm like, really, Riley? I'm pretty sure you were sold on this.
Oh, yeah.
So it would have been shocking to me if something fell apart here.
Yeah, in what world does Riley not in the show with Marissa? I don't know. So, like I said, convincing to no one but Marissa, who I think just was upset for the moment, but happy to be with him and move on. And we get the last couple there, and it's Joe and Serena, and it's their turn to talk. And the only takeaway I have from the Joe and Serena talk is that this is the first time I think we get like a genuine "I love you" on the show, right?
Yeah, I think that's the first time we got it this season.
Yeah, and it just seemed And both times, it was kind of Serena that beat Joe to the punch. Serena said,
I
I
think
think,
she started everything in the relationship.
yeah, but I mean, I felt my cold dead heart tingle a little bit when I heard, when that happened. I was quite surprised. I don't know. It just like, you know how angry I get when I hear these people say I'm starting to fall in love with you, and then how like opposite of feeling runs through my cold veins when they actually say something that has some meaning to it. It's it's a miracle.
I mean, I wasn't surprised. It's time. That
Yeah.
I was amazed, honestly, that it didn't happen with like Kenny and Mari and Marissa and
Oh
Riley,
yeah.
because we already saw them.
Well, you know,
Um,
it just
so obviously they have to start talking about Kendall again, and I was just waiting for her to pop up because she appeared in the previews, so you knew she's gonna be around at some point. So I'm just like, all right, they're
mhm.
speaking her into existence, right?
I
And
didn't.
not immediately at least,
Yeah,
but
I didn't know where that was gonna go, but that was. We'll get to that. Anyway.
Joe mentions too that like part of the reason he like really fell for Serena was because of how she handled the whole situation with Kendall and everything. I
Mhm.
was just like, you know what, I get it. Like that's something I'd want in a partner. Like, how to handle the skeletons in the closet,
Well, not even that. It's just like, I mean, if we can get through this, we can get through anything.
the grace.
If
Oh, sure.
if you can lick whipped cream off toes, you can get engaged. So, uh, yeah, but I mean, we're down to 3 now, and we've got fantasy suites, and so we've got Joe and Serena, we've got Riley and Marissa.
Rosharina.
Just Serena, just Serena.
Rosharina.
I hate
Their
that.
couple name.
We're not doing that. What is Kenny and Mari's name?
Kari.
Kari. It's got to be Kari, right? Because Mareni. Yeah, no, that's horrible. And we've got Riley and Marissa. Mariley sounds okay.
I just saw Reddit decided on their couple name like
Which was
yesterday or
what?
something. I think it was like Mariley.
Mariley sounds okay. It doesn't make me absolutely cringe. But no, I mean, Josh, what I was trying. My point was that as bad and as like shit posty as the show can be sometimes, when you get to see something that like seems genuine or people have a very real conversation about their lives, it just it like it it can't be beat in that
Oh
sense.
yeah, absolutely. And I think this is like these relationships here have inspired more confidence in me for them than probably like almost all of the main series relationships I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Because there've just been so many where I'm like, you're together, but is it really gonna
Mm-hmm.
like work out? You certainly haven't seen like, as you said, some of these really deep, wholesome talks that they got. Like, let's see more of that, producers.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
we got to have Michelle Young talking to these boys about this.
I think we'll get some good stuff. The preview to that looked dramatic, but anyway, yeah, I mean
It always does.
let's see. So Joe and Serena, they're very happy together. They said I love you. I don't really have anything to add about their fantasy date. It was just kind of more of the same.
Yeah, honestly, nothing too significant in any of these
Mm-hmm.
fantasy suites,
No,
right?
I mean, so Kenny and Mari, that
We've seen it all before.
Yeah, we've seen it all before, but Kenny and Mari, I think this is the first official I love you for them during their fantasy suite date. And that once again was nice to hear. It seemed genuine. Kenny says something on the date that I thought was also just really very nice, and it was like, he's like, it took me 40 years, but it was worth the wait, you know? So.
All right, Lewis, we only got like another decade. So.
We've got a decade and change. like don't lay it out there. So hey, I mean, I'm finding some success lately. So I was hitting a dry spell there for a while, but now I've got some things working for me now, Josh. So maybe not for the internet to know at the moment, but we'll see. You know what I think would be fun is that if it's like I found some poor woman that would be willing to like stream a date with me on here and just see what happens. I think that'd be
Goals.
hilarious. Like, don't you think that'd be funny? That'd
I'm
be
gonna be
fun
in chat
because
for
then
that one.
that's what I'm saying is like you've got literally like just chat there, like whoever would be there and be like you could ask questions. I think that'd be hilarious.
I think it's like future potential, and I'm happy that you're willing to whore yourself out in that way.
I mean, if I could find a woman that'd be willing to do it, but that's also kind of tricky because it's like, oh yeah, by the way, I do this for fun. I hope this isn't weird for you, because it will be weird for people, right? Like,
Sure.
like I mean, like it just because like wording is key. Because I could be like, oh yeah, what do you do for fun? Oh, I entertain strangers on the internet. Is going to end with some unanswered
Here's my
questions.
OnlyFans.
Yeah, it's gonna. Don't give them free press. But it's gonna end with some
I'll show
questions,
us
right?
OnlyFans in the press.
Yeah, but anyway, I think that'd be a fun idea. But yeah, Riley and Marissa's date was okay. There was more whipped cream because why the fuck not? And
Marissa says
said
no toes this time.
no toes. Thank you. Thank you. We did not want to see that again anyway. But yeah.
You know, and I guess I did have one comment on the
Mhm.
Kari date, and just like, I found it interesting. Kenny's opening up, talking about how his family expresses love and everything.
By calling
And
each
that
other
there's
shitheads.
usually a lot of expletives involved. Yeah. Like, I can see that. Like, Italian families kind of do some of that. Then, yeah, Riley and Marissa here talking, and they talk about the importance of quality time. Riley talks about his, like, dream scenario. And just kind of, got me thinking about love languages and stuff. I didn't know if you wanted to discuss any love language stuff or not. I don't know if that's too personal. We have to wait for your date on here.
Have to, like, what mine are?
Yeah. Did you want to talk about that? Is that too personal?
No, that's not. I know yours has got to be like words of affirmation, right? One of them.
Wow.
Is
Hassan,
that
you
right?
do not know me.
What are the? I
not
don't
me at
know
all.
them off the top of my head. So
Okay, so there's words of affirmation.
yeah.
Quality time.
Oh, quality time. That's you.
Physical touch.
That's one of you too.
Acts of service.
I don't.
Gifts.
I feel like
I
you're.
can't remember.
I feel like your
words
quality
for that one.
time in the third one. What was the third one? I already forgot.
Physical touch.
Yeah, your quality time and physical touch, right?
Yes, 100%.
Oh, okay, yeah. See, it would have been easy had I known all 5 of them.
There's only
So-
5, Lewis.
I knew one of them off the top of my head, and I was like, yeah, Josh likes words of affirmation. I don't know what mine are. Is there a way to pull this up and do a test or something?
Oh, you can probably find a test, but it's mostly just about, like, what you enjoy in your relationships, like what's important to you to both. Because, like, love languages can be different in the way that you receive and the way that you give love too.
Yeah.
Like, you might prefer to give it in a different way and you like to receive it. So it's mostly just like your personal preference. Like, what do you value?
I don't know. That's a good question. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm a little bit of all of those things.
We'll
I
have to
think
have
I
you
think
take a quiz
I think probably
come back.
it's probably quality time and words of affirmation for me. I just want to be told that my hair is pretty and that, look, as it
Don't shit talk
as
my
it
boy Lou.
as it peeks out the back there. I don't know. I would have to think about it a little bit harder. I don't think I'm like acts of service or gifts. Like that doesn't like I don't really need or want you to do anything for me. I just want you to like actually enjoy my presence and not find me horribly obnoxious. So, like, is that too much to ask?
And like I think for the same reason, that's kind of why I have um words of affirmation as my third one.
Not
After
because
quality
it's
time and
super
physical touch.
high, but the other
No,
ones are
like
not it
I
at all.
guess out of like if you're gonna do anything for me, I'd rather like have you like give me praise and build me up and support me than like give me shit or do shit for me.
Mm-hmm.
So
You know what? Just.
and like conversely, I'm not the best gift giver or actioner. I have lots of thoughts, but I'm often bad at execution.
Yeah. We're ideas people here. That I come up with a new idea of something that would be fun and unique every couple of hours or days. That probably I'm not that creative, but actually following through is where the hiccup is. So
Yeah,
I
put me
need
in a
somebody.
think tank, but don't give me the grant to go and
Yeah,
like actually
I need somebody who can like
fulfill it.
get stuff done, right? So like I'll be the one that I'll be like, let's do this, make it happen, right? Be gone. But yeah, no, what did you think? Just kind of back to, I don't. I'll have to do the love languages test or whatever and see what it like says I am,
All right,
based off
I'm
a
gonna write
quiz.
it down for our next episode.
Okay, but what did you think of the whole like Marissa and Riley was the only cliffhanger, which I didn't really buy at all, where Marissa was like,
yeah, so well, Kenny kind of left things up in the air, maybe a
yeah,
bit too, because he's like,
unless I get
yeah,
cold feet.
I'll see you in the morning unless I get cold feet, and I'm just like,
That was not reassuring to
what the
hear.
fuck?
I know.
Yeah, because it didn't feel like it was like a playful kind of
No,
thing,
it seemed like
which
a very
makes it
serious thing
great.
to say that I'd be
Yeah,
like,
I could get cold feet. Bitch, you better not.
I know, that's what I thought that was a very odd thing to say too, because it seemed just way too it seemed way too sincere. I was like,
Yeah.
wait, what? And the Marissa and Riley thing, where evidently Riley must have whispered to Marissa, oh, he's not sure if he's going to be engaged to me by the end of this. And, yada, yada, yada. But
Yeah, and like for the fact that they didn't show that on camera, I almost wonder if it was like so obviously Riley screwing with her, and once again Marissa's just clueless. She couldn't tell or what? Because I'm just like, really?
Well,
Riley isn't ready?
She seemed way too surprised and excited when she got proposed to, that I think that she may have thought that he...
Spoilers.
Yeah, but I would not... Like, there was way too much excitement there. So...
I mean, I wouldn't say that there's too much, but there should not have been any shock in it.
No.
It should very much be expected at this point.
So let's get to the proposals, because that's it, right? Like, we're towards the end.
Honestly, I didn't even write anything down for these proposals because I didn't feel like they were that noteworthy.
No. I don't think so either. Kenny and Mari are first up. Shockingly, they get engaged. They kind of... I was waiting to hear something like kind of deep and like that I could quote from the actual like right before I get down and propose thing, but they hit each other with the same thing that the Katie and Blake, where it's like, I fucking love you shit, and I'm like, God, I don't want to have to relive that nightmare again. We already saw that shit on the TV once. I don't want to see it again. But yeah, I I mean, no surprise they get engaged in the story, right? Next up, Marissa and Riley, and like I said, Marissa seemed genuinely surprised and very sweaty during the engagement. Like, it must have been hot because, I mean, it was just sweat everywhere.
Well, they're in Mexico in the summer.
Oh,
so.
I know. And last but not least, this is what I need you to explain. So Joe is down there, and they're like, oh, Kenny and Mari watching from afar, and they're like, oh, here comes Serena. Joke, swerve, it's Kendall. Why the fuck is she back? Josh, I don't even understand the conversation she had with Joe there. Do you?
No, not really. I mean, maybe in the back of her mind, she's like, okay, I'm showing up here, and this somehow throws a wrench into his plans, where like he realizes that he still has feelings for me and can't get engaged now, or like somehow he's just ready to turn around and leave with her. I don't know. I feel like it was probably something that was coaxed on by the producers.
Oh yeah,
anything.
I mean, I didn't understand it. It just seemed like it was like, oh, okay, have fun, bye. Like,
yeah, very weird conversation.
Yeah.
To have.
Well, then I don't really have much else to add other than, Joe tells Serena, oh, by the way, they've just brought Kendall down. It was weird. And if anything, it just convinced me more that I want to do this. So, but yeah, so Joe and Serena end up engaged. We went 3 for 3. And we get a great montage after. Where,
line them up and knock them down.
Yeah, 3 for 3, all engaged. Cut to the montage. Let's see what's going on after Paradise.
Vlog.
Yeah. And so James and Aaron are very happy together. It's important that you should know that. And
expecting their first child.
Well, surprisingly, maybe to some. So Abigail and Noah, according to the post credits, are back together and are taking things slowly. But also, Thomas and Becca seem madly in love back together too.
Yeah, well, okay, so for this Noah Abigail thing here too, we're gonna tie into some other juicy gossip that's
the Dale Claire stuff
going around. All
right, go ahead.
For those who have not heard, Dale and Claire have broken up again for about the 20th time.
I think they're probably donezo for good.
In the past year and a half. Yeah, probably done for good this time. The rumor is that Dale has cheated on Claire now.
Damn.
Damn. So what I heard is that it was with Abigail. Because apparently Abigail was under the impression that Dale and Claire were on a break. Which they were not.
We were on a break.
Yeah, like it's the whole friend situation.
Yeah.
But maybe actually Dale just legitimately being shady.
Do you think? What do you think happened?
I don't know. I don't think Dale's a great person. I'm not a huge fan of Claire either.
Yeah, they seem kind of dramatic.
I think that he was worried about all the negative he was getting the first time they broke up.
So you think that he is
they got back together and he's just trying to make it work to like let
wants the clout
fade out. Yeah.
He's
100%.
He's a clout chaser, and Claire is
DP.
Claire is just Claire.
Yeah, basically.
So
yeah, it's I don't know the timeline with all this stuff too. So maybe like Abigail and Noah got back together after. Maybe they're not together anymore.
Dale and Abigail.
I don't know when they put together the epilogue either.
That's true. Dale and Abigail
Such
is
a
not
bizarre
something.
pairing.
I know. That's what I'm trying to say. That
like how does that work?
They don't seem like in any way, shape, or form people that I would expect to kind of like be together at any point in time. So
Yeah, 100%. That's like the uh like paradise situation, honestly, where like Abigail's on the beach, Dale comes down with the date card, and they go and talk, and she's like, "Yeah, I guess I'll go on the date with you," and then like it just does not work at all, and they're like,
I'm
"Yeah, let's talk to other people."
I was very surprised that was a rumor even. Um, but yeah, so I mean, do you think Abigail and Noah are still together then, or no?
Oh, like I said, I'm not really sure of the timeline on
Yeah.
everything. I I don't know. It's weird to me that they would get back together.
I just
Obviously they must have had some sort of pretty serious conversation to go
yeah.
and give it another try.
It's hard to tell
But with
somebody that you're not my person. Like,
like repeatedly to be like, yeah,
yeah,
I thought I was in love with you, but it turns out you're just not my person.
yep.
So it's like,
That's a hard
mm,
thing to tell somebody and then try to bounce back from. So,
exactly.
um, but yeah. How about Becca and Thomas?
Uh, yeah, I mean, so as we were talking about earlier, like we both expected them to leave Paradise together.
Mm-hmm.
So
Ultimately, they kind of did.
yeah, who knows how long it took for them to get back together,
Mm-hmm.
but again, like they must have had some sort of conversation or something. Echo had complained, or at least like mentioned to Thomas the reason that she didn't want to try to make things work with him was because she didn't feel like she'd been getting much out of him emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and obviously took that first step there, getting emotional in front of her when they were breaking up.
And national
But
television.
yeah, I'm sure that they've had more real conversations
Off
in that
camera.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's gotten things to like become more real for Becca to the point where she's ready to actually like give it a shot.
Mm-hmm.
And they seem to be happy.
Well,
Definitely not something I would have expected from the beginning of the season,
nope.
but here we are.
Yeah, and I mean, like, that was pretty much all that I got out of the montage there. Um, let's see what which of the single women we, you know, I think Natasha seems like a catch. So you've already shouted her out to try to get her into her DMs. I know.
Yeah, I'm just going all the way to that role where I'm just asking all the singles from the
Yeah.
show to come find me.
Hey, I know Kelsey does not live like more than a state or two away from me. So I mean, if you're out there, and yeah, I mean, everybody else is happily engaged now. So
Yeah, and that's all we got for the season.
3 seems like a lot, but yeah, we had more people on the beach this season than we did in a long, long time.
I mean, if you told me 3 people were going to get engaged at the end of this, I would have been like, okay, that probably seems about right.
Yeah, I think
and
they've had that
all
before.
from like the first couple weeks, basically.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of how they really don't. If you're not there towards the beginning, I feel like the chances of getting actually engaged are slim. Just kind of what I've seen from the show. Like it doesn't.
Because
It
Riley
doesn't
came
seem.
in the second episode, right?
He was at least the first group of guys that came in.
Because he came in. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because it may not have been the second episode, but it was essentially the first group of guys added.
And Kenny, Mari, Joe, and Serena were all there immediately.
Yep. Yeah, Riley was the only person that showed up, quote unquote, late, and it wasn't really like that late. But yeah, that was the season. I think what we should do is I pulled up. You can look at the pictures of the guys who are gonna be on Michelle's season of The Bachelorette, like on the
It's
ABC.
on ABC's website.
Yeah. So let's pull them up. not now, but next week, and talk about them, and then I'll figure out how we're gonna do like a bracket, and then I'll pull up on the like in the background. I'll have like a running tally based off what points people have, depending on who wants to submit something.
I have some plans for like how to make this work. I think, yeah. Do a draft and a point system and everything based on how far you get.
We're gonna draft.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we'll draft them.
All right. Well, we'll see who else wants to be a part of this. But anyway.
Yeah, and if you're interested, leave us a message. Come join the Discord.
Yeah. Anyway.
Let us know.
Yeah, I'll post the link to the Discord right now if anybody wants to hop on. But yeah, I mean that was the season of Bachelor in Paradise. We had 3 couples end happily ever after with Serena. Is that what the settled name was?
No. Grocerina.
Oh, Grocerina. Oh, that's okay.
He's grocery store Joe.
It's only a little bit cringe. And Riley and Kari. So that was it. Yeah. And
I'm just gonna say, if you didn't want cringe on this show, you wouldn't have let me be your co-host.
No, that's fine. Anyway, Josh, what do you have to say before we sign off? Anything?
Yeah. So, my first Paradise experience, overall, I'll say it was pretty entertaining. You know, ups and downs, kind of like all the seasons do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's just this last episode was kind of but.
Yeah, what can I say? Yeah, I'm probably, gonna be hooked on it now, and I'm sure that Almost Paradise, the song, is just gonna be growing on me more and more.
You're gonna listen to it.
Forward to hearing those ads for the show start popping up again, so I can have this theme song playing.
Until next year with Bachelor in Paradise. But yeah. Josh, thank you for being here, and as always, happy birthday today.
Aw,
and today only.
Thank you.
I was the Han Factor. Guys, if you like this, like, comment, follow, do whatever the fuck you want. But I'm glad that I could entertain you, and until next time, we'll see you later. Bye now.